Welcome everyone to this Clan War League video where we'll be looking at our almost perfect Clan War League and some of the best attacks. Actually, the last attack is happening right now as I'm recording. But before we get into the video, I wanted to show you a mistake I made in the last video about the thrower's range, which is where I made it a bit incorrect originally. So this is the correct one. Originally I did it like this. It's just a bit hard to tap the screen here, but I did it like this with the zigzagging. Apparently this is wrong, and I tested it, and someone pointed it out to me, so that's good to know. Apparently, like after you go diagonal, it's supposed to go up so the throwers can't reach it. But this is just the pattern that you should know to defend against throwers. Yep, we got a perfect final war. Hopefully they end up failing. So we get a chance to win and continue our great streak. The first one's going to be an air spam attack here from Sir Crocodile. He's the captain of the team, so let's see what he does. This attack, I found it pretty interesting because it had a bit of a unique air spam approach. So he has the Royal Champion with the Rocket Spear and the Phoenix on one side. The Queen on the other side. Now you'd think he would drop the Dragon Riders between them, but actually not. The Royal Champion sets up a very nice funnel on the right, and the Queen goes to kind of take the rest, and now the Dragon Riders have a very clean defensive pathing through the rest of the base. So that's a pretty important thing with Dragon Riders, that you can guess how they're going to path. And then as long as they have good pathing, then you can just distract with totems, and it's going to be a really nice triple, as you're going to see. Now, a lot of the attacks in this video are going to be kind of, let's say, overkill, because it is normal mode, but that also shows, that the attacks are really strong and they would work in like Legends mode or Esports mode. So this is a very nice attack over here, as you can see it. And all right, let's just fast forward and let's skip to the next attack. Now the next attack here is going to be from myself. I didn't have a lot of really great attacks, let's say. I think they could have been done better, but this one was a very nice one. A funnel with a baby dragon and balloon on one side. On the other side we have the warden that's going to be setting up a nice fireball on the rage tower. So we get a nice fireball here, and then the follow-up is going to be throwers. Not a lot of people played throwers in this Clan War League. Maybe I should have also not played them all the time. I think most of my attacks were just throwers with different kind of openings and approaches, because I thought they're pretty strong from esports, but there are a lot of other options, as you'll see soon. Now we have the log launcher going in to get the throwers into the core. You can see why I funneled earlier, because I have the king sent into the rage compartment. And then I still have the Dragon Duke, which is going to be for the spitter on the top left. So now the attack's kind of pretty clear. Just, one free spell, rest all you need is totems. And we go through the center of the base nicely. We can fast forward it because there's not much else to see. Like the throwers just go cleanly through the base. And it's nice and crushed. So yeah, good attack here. Now we'll be seeing quite a few different kind of attack strategies as we move through the video. This one's after the the jetpack thing came out for the last day. And now Ninja here's doing a very nice Dragon Rider approach with it. So he has the giant arrow with the Dragon Duke, and then destroying the core of the base. He missed the clan castle because the builders were repairing it. But now in terms of this new jetpack equipment, basically if you combine it with a giant arrow, it does the same damage as a fireball. So you can use the same amount of earthquakes as that. And then if you want to just use it alone with like zaps and earthquakes or something, then it's pretty much the same as a giant arrow. Now you see the core of the base got completely destroyed, so the rest of the attack is actually really simple here. and the Dragon Riders just kind of move through. And you'll notice a lot of these attacks are overkill, of course, since it's normal mode. But it just like proof how strong the attacks are. And then again, not every attack is like this overkill, but when you can generally get attacks that are like this strong, that means that even when your attacks mess up a little bit, you'll still end up getting the triples, which is really important in these Champion 1 clans when you try to go for a high rank. And now we have another attack over here from Medala. And it's going to be a Spirit Walk into Root Rider attack. And I was surprised to see this attack strategy quite a lot from us in this Clan War League. Even Gaku used it, who you're going to see later on. So I guess now Spirit Walks are a bit stronger ever since the Bomb Hive went. So people can play Spirit Walks more naturally. And Root Riders, I guess, are a pretty good follow-up. So we see a nice Spirit Walk going on over here from around the back side of the base. Now he does manage to get the Revenge Tower, which is pretty good, but even if he doesn't, I think it's still okay. So now let's just get to the part where he plays the Root Riders through. Pretty classic. Notice he has the Dragon Duke instead of the King. The Dragon Duke, I think, in some attacks he's used to funnel some around with the Queen, but now we have Overgrowth on the core, and once the Overgrowth wakes up, he's going to pop the Rocket Spear off the Royal Champion. Now the Royal Champion isn't greatly positioned, but anyways, he does pop the ability as the Dragon Duke going for the back end, since you didn't need him to help funnel with the Queen, and that ends up being a nice triple with everything converging together. Now we have the next attack here. It's going to be an Electro Dragon attack from Eric. And hopefully next Clan War League ends up being a bit more interesting in terms of the difficulty. So that would be very nice. But at least we have a lot of variety here with the attack strategies, which is great. And of course, one thing I would always recommend to everyone is to learn to practice a lot of attack strategies. That's what's going to help you if you want to, get better at the game. And for example, as you can see here in this Champion 1 Clan War League. So this attack is also nice because it shows you that even if, like, let's say, there isn't a lot of chain value on the base, the Electro Dragons can get good value and still get the 3-star, as they are pretty tanky. But about my point earlier about, practicing different attack strategies and such, that's always important, and I think some of these players even they switch between different attacks depending on the base for the Clan War League, or even just in general. That's a good skill to be able to have, whether you want to play tournaments or let's say base building even. It helps when you can play different strategies, so you know how to defend against them, trap against them, and you can test them as well. So just always good to have more variety with your attacks, and that's what we managed to see here. So let's just speed it up. Now this is going to be another Spirit Walk into Root Rider attack. We're going to get into Gaku's attack in a bit as well, which was very nice. Now, as you can see, I suppose not all of the base builders are really defending these attacks just yet. Maybe in the next Clan War League there will be more bases against it, and in Legends League as well. Okay, there are some giant bombs, but generally with the base tile as well, like Spirit Walks are very good against Rage Towers because everything is so tight and compact. So that's kind of the issue you've got. So very nice Spirit Walk. Imagine going this deep into the core to get the monolith. I didn't notice how many invis spells he had, but he has a lot of other spells still, so a very deep and good Spirit Walk. Now he's going to recall and just send everything in from the top side. Now there is the Revenge Tower on the back end, so let's see how he handles that. That's kind of important. Usually maybe you want an Overgrowth and then to have everything time just right to when to engages it. But let's see. Yep, Overgrowth on the Revenge Tower. Also notice rocket balloons on the left side. Apparently 2 take out the multi. which is crazy. Also a bit under-leveled, but still. And the Dragon Duke, pretty much swagged, you could say, really. And still he even has the Warden ability, so that's kind of insane. So yeah, just very nice attack and well done, good pathing and everything. And we have the next attack here from Gaku. I think he was the one who maybe started with this attack and then everyone was kind of copying him. Because also noticed he has the rocket balloons and such. I guess they help with redirecting the Royal Champion and, you know, making the charge a bit easier, which is quite nice. And also just a general point about, you know, all these attacks we're seeing in this Clan War League. It's always nice to kind of look at what everyone else is doing. I certainly didn't really expect to see this Root Rider attack, but now that I see everyone's playing it, you know, maybe I'll practice it a bit and see, you know, where it can work well. Now he did a nice Spirit Walk on the side. And what's going to be more impressive about this attack will be the follow-up. Now, he didn't really kind of do a great job with luring the clan castle. Like, maybe he could have lured it to the Super Barbarian first and then, like, to engage it a bit more easily. And because of that, he ended up having to use the Warden ability, or maybe not, but I think he was being safe. He didn't want to, you know, lose everything to the Headhunters and Rocket Balloons. But even though he kind of wasted his Warden ability, let's say, he used an Overgrowth on the core to take out most of the damage while he approaches it. And now look at this timing, it's going to be so nice. Just as everything's on top of it, he can freeze the core. And yeah, the Root Riders are all on top of the defenses. The Queen and Dragon Duke on the flank, super strong combination. Even Rocket Balloons for the back. And I mean, you know, when people like Stars or Gaku attack, and they triple with these like Root Rider smash hits, it's just so impressive. How many troops they keep alive at the end, and yeah, it's like everything's just so perfect, and you can see all the experience they have, really. It's impressive. Now the next attack here is we actually have a nice Super Witch attack, which we're going to be seeing. And again, just different kinds of attack strategies, which is always nice. 2 Invis spells and instant Fireball. So that's pretty nice. And now I was wondering, would he go from the back end or the Town Hall side? And he ended up going into the Town Hall, and you'll see how he managed to make it work, even though he has 2 kind of spitters pointing towards him and a Revenge Tower. Now this wall break, not sure if it's the best idea, but I guess he wanted to go for 2 wall breaks. I would have tried to wall break just to connect them both, but works nicely. Also noticed he has even throwers in the mix, which I don't think is a great idea really, but okay. I mean, he could have, you brought an extra Super Witch. Now notice the Overgrowth on the back end as everything approaches the damage. There's like no kind of long-ranged Fire Spitter damage, or even from the Lava Launcher actually. And then everything wakes up at a great timing. You have the King, you have the Dragon Duke working, everything on the flank, and okay, it looks like the troops are slowed down a bit, but since Super Witches have a lot of HP, that's kind of a strength they have, that even though they can go into a lot of damage, they'll still end up surviving, unlike, say, Throwers or maybe even Root Riders, which are actually not as tanky as you might think. Now to finish off the video, we'll have 2 Fireball Rocket Balloon attacks. Again, just crazy, like we had Root Riders, Throwers, Electro Dragons, Rocket Balloons, Fireball, Witches, just basically every attack you can think of, which is crazy about the variety of this meta. We started Town Hall 18 with just Meteor Golems, and now we've got kind of this. So hopefully we can also see that in esports mode as well. And maybe, when the World Championships finally start, we'll get to see maybe the true variety and what we really have in this meta. I'm sure a lot of teams are probably hiding some approaches as well. So we'll definitely see some exciting and interesting things, once the World Championship starts and everyone starts to really show, what they have prepared for us. But now for this Rocket Loon attack, just classic, starting the Warden off on the bottom side to get some defenses. Now I would probably use the Angry Jelly rather than the Sneezy. I don't know why a lot of people do Warden walks with sneezy because it ends up having making you use, you know, an ice block spell to stop the warden, especially if you want such a deep charge. But maybe this one was extra deep, so he kind of needed, so the Angry Jelly wouldn't have, you know, been, it would have expired anyways, but anyways, a very nice fireball deep into the core. And now he gets the king and queen to connect with the warden, which I thought when I saw this, that's probably not good, because it's also bad for time. But he destroyed the whole core, and then look, this nice idea with the siege barracks from the right side, combined with the royal champion. Now, I would guess he must have had the Dragon Duke upgrading, because why would you use the royal champion? Or he thought it was a nice idea. So anyways, they work through the bottom side over there on their own, no damage against them, which is super nice. Probably a bit of an early ability for the royal champion. But here we can actually see, you know, maybe the warden did help the king and the queen, especially through all of that damage. But the attack comes together very nicely. Just as long as you set up the fireball and you split the heroes, then this attack is pretty strong, especially on normal mode. On hard mode, maybe it would have, you know, time fail issues and that kind of stuff, but here it worked very well. So a great triple. Now for this last attack, we have an attack from Ethan from Carry Esports, or, well, he has that in his name, but it's kind of, I think he plays with a team with, you know, Van and Crispy and those kind of guys. So he's helping out as well, and this is something for sure that helped us out this Clan War League. We had some pros helping us, you know, Gaku and Ethan. In addition to the usual lineup, we've been trying for a few months to actually get a good Champion 1 finish. But, you know, it didn't work out sometimes. You know, there's like one guy that fails quite a bit or something. But overall this month, I would say the lineup was very solid. So that's great. I would say the biggest fail was actually one from me. I got like a 95%. It was a time fail, but still, you know, I would say a bad attack. So, yeah, good thing it didn't cost us, you know, one fail. But yeah, the other fails were like all 99s and like a 98 or something. Maybe, I think 4 fails in total. So there was a clan that went, you know, perfect this Clan War League. It was the Reported Gaming clan or something. But, you know, at least this is still a very good result, especially considering we're not, you know, all like pros, so we're not, you know, perfect in that sense, but still a very nice attack from Ethan, actually. Notice he did this Dragon Duke Sui on the right side, which is really strong. And now Fireball straight into the core. Very impressive control and everything overall. He still has the King and Queen, but I would say maybe he doesn't even need... Okay, he probably does, but he has a lot of spells, a lot of, you know, things to help him out. And just the Warden has no damage on him, which is great. And yeah, just super impressive. King ability goes off, the base is destroyed. He has, you know, a recall spell, I guess, for the Warden. People use it sometimes instead of maybe balloons to redirect her. It depends. If you're getting a fireball and there's a lot of damage in the follow-up, then I guess a recall works with the fireball rocket balloons. But he can swag that. There was even a revive, which I guess he used somewhere, but he didn't need it really. So a super good attack. So that's it for this Clan War League. 4 stars off from a perfect and 9% as well, which is super impressive. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the next video we'll see what's going to be. Maybe I'll, you know, show some pro matches as well, so we can look at what the meta is like these days. Or I'll think of, you know, something else to show you. But until that video, bye bye.